That investigation is now complete. The central findings of the investigation are that the man whose voice is heard on the recording and on a second recording from the same conversation that was released on Sunday, accordingly, effective immediately, I am banning.
With instant effect, I'm going to ban. That's all it took. Brittany Gurrier, one of the most well-known names in the WNBA, disappears with a single sentence. Not fined, not suspended, permanently barred. Adam Silver dropped the mic in the most incendiary press conference we've seen in years. What the hell happened? Fans are still questioning. Did Gurrier cheat on games? Was she manipulating the referees? Or is there more to this? Something that the league would want you not to know? Because it becomes dirtier the more you dig. Audio leaks, covert testimony, scandal, and even rumors about who she was. Better fasten your seatbelt. We're dissecting everything. Okay, let's begin by discussing how this entire situation came to a head. Adam Silver just drops a bombshell as he enters an emergency press conference. Brittany Gurrier has been suspended from the WNBA for life, with immediate effect. There is no warm-up or build-up, just fire. The sound of jaws hitting the ground was audible. Gurrier was more than just a sportsman. She was the face of the league for years. She has achieved everything: gold medals at the Olympics, All-Star Games, and worldwide recognition. She has since been erased. Silver, however, wasn't joking. He claimed that the league carried out a thorough internal investigation and that the findings were too significant to overlook. Numerous infractions of the rules, extrajudicial drama, and, worse, potential participation in a full-scale corruption scandal. He was quoted as saying, "There is no place in basketball for actions that compromise the integrity of the game." Who? What precisely did they discover, then? Why did Silver have to administer the most severe penalty possible? Let's get started. Because it was a mountain of red flags that ultimately came to an end rather than a single error. Let's remember who we're talking about before we start tearing things up. In the WNBA, Brittany Gurrier played. She was the fan favorite for her ability to block shots and dunk. A walking advertisement for women's basketball, a two-time Olympian. She would appear in Nike advertisements, host camps, and represent Team USA. She was everywhere. She's gone now. No warning, no farewell tour, just blacklisted. So, how can you go from being the face of the league to being shut out? It turns out that her recent actions weren't the only thing involved. There were rumors circulating. Drama in the locker room, issues with teammates, and reports of her arguments with referees. After that, things began to pile up. Lack of adherence to team rules, dubious off-court conduct, and an abrupt change in the league's quietness. For a while, though, the league disregarded it. Why? Due to the fact that Gurrier brought eyes. She continued to sell tickets until Silver decided it was time to cut the cord because the headlines were becoming too loud. The league abruptly changed its mind on one of its top stars. Crazy, huh? But this is only the beginning. This is the point at when chaos ensues. This narrative is more than just a drama. This is a serious controversy involving corruption. League insiders claim that Gurrier was involved in attempts to interfere with real games. Yes. Manipulating referees, swinging momentum when it counted, and rigging matches. How? Apparently, she was more influential behind the scenes than we initially believed. The rumors that she was speaking to referees or altering the atmosphere in the locker room were only the start. But the red flags began to appear when playoff races became close and games began to appear a bit too scripted. After Silver brought in investigators, everything fell apart. Executives were sacked, officials were suspended, and Brittany's name was allegedly everywhere. Emails, recordings, and texts. This was more than just ego or attitude. This had to do with managing results. You undermine the league as a whole and the competition. And Silver has no intention of overlooking that. Do you believe a player should ever have that kind of impact, if I may ask? Because everything we believe to be true about WNBA integrity is altered if even half of this is accurate. This raises a significant question. Where the heck was the commissioner if all of this was happening? The league was meant to be kept clean by Kathy Angelbert, right? Rather, she is right in the center of this chaos. Insiders claim that Angelbert was aware of the drama long before Silver intervened. Players voiced silent grievances, emails, and warnings. What did she do, too? Nothing, apparently. According to some, she wished to preserve the WNBA's reputation. Some claim that she simply didn't want to confront Gurrier. In any case, everything was made worse by her silence. She is currently being reviewed internally. Supporters are urging her to step down. The disciplinary procedure has also been taken over by Silver's staff. And it became that awful. There is more than one player involved. This controversy exposed a system that permitted such things to proliferate unchecked. What occurs if the commissioner puts public relations ahead of accountability? You understand. You end up with anarchy. The league is currently working to tidy up a mess that it contributed to. If not for a few courageous players who decided that enough was enough, this entire situation might have remained hidden. Names began to appear. Well-known names. Clark and Cunningham. Sophie. These people don't play roles. These are the league's future leaders. They allegedly provided league investigators with behind-closed-door testimony, and what they disclosed was very startling. They discussed games when the referees appeared to be acting strangely. Such calls abruptly gained traction, and Gurrier's team received dubious benefits. They had receipts, though, so it wasn't just feelings. It has been reported that during those sessions, league officials played audio clips. In one, Gurrier allegedly discussed matchups and pressure spots with the referees. Do you understand what that means? She wasn't merely spewing nonsense. She was planning her exit from the court. The league was unable to defend her once Clark and others began to point fingers. Silver's hand was forced by that. Now consider whether Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark would have said nothing. Would there have been a ban at all? Or would the league continue to provide coverage for its star? The most terrifying aspect of all is that. Did you really expect her to remain silent? No way. Gurrier's crew acted quickly as the news broke about the ban. We're discussing defense tactics, lawyers, public relations representatives, and media contacts. Her attorneys are reportedly preparing an appeal and aren't holding back. They are accusing this action as being politically driven, disproportionate, and unwarranted. They are requesting complete access to all investigation records, including the classified tapes, and have even threatened to take it to court. This is when things get wild. They are saying that Gurrier is being used as a diversion, that the league is in a panic due to more serious scandals, and that Gurrier has simply been sacrificed. According to her camp, she was singled out because she was vocal, questioned league leadership, and was too strong in the locker room. One thing is obvious regardless of whether that is true or not. There won't be a news conference to conclude this. A public conflict is imminent. Additionally, a lot more information might come to light if it goes to court. Therefore, we must inquire. Is Gurrier being set up to shield more well-known figures? Or is this the final deed of someone who is apprehended? The gender bombshell arrives just when you thought it couldn't get much stranger. It's uncomfortable, indeed. It is controversial, indeed. But these days, it's everywhere. After years of silent swirling, rumors finally erupted. Does Brittany Gurrier have a male biological makeup? We're not here to play doctor, but according to sources, the WNBA may have known and concealed it from the public based on paperwork, medical records, and league memos.
Why?
Because the WNBA's brand was Gurrier. She ducked. She was in charge. She offered tickets for sale. And the league might have fallen apart if that story had ever broken. However, everything is now coming to light with her band. According to some insiders, there is more to this than just game rigging. The goal is to conceal something more significant. There would have been a serious breach of competitive fairness, possibly even Title IX, if the league had concealed it. Therefore, is the prohibition based on integrity or on preventing secrets from blowing up in public? The whole truth is yet unknown to us. However, just this query has already made supporters, athletes, and even sponsors apprehensive. Let's zoom out. There's now more than one player involved. This concerns a league that is on the brink. The sponsors are in a panic. TV networks are reassessing agreements. Fans are no longer sure who or what to believe. Because you lose control of the story when your biggest star is banned for corruption and then rumors about hidden gender identities start to circulate. And the WNBA is experiencing precisely that. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, two rookies, arrived brimming with enthusiasm and optimism. However, they are currently trapped in a league that is more akin to a soap drama than a sport. What about the talent of the future? Do you believe that parents wish to expose their girls to this chaos? No way. So here we are. The league is in disarray. Legends are prohibited. In all honesty, we still feel as though we are only seeing a portion of the image. The WNBA was supposed to be in its prime during this time. Instead of packed arenas, rising stars, and new fans, we got chaos, corruption, and cover-ups. The entire basketball community is currently watching. What is Adam Silver going to do next? Will additional players be made public? Will Brittany Gurrier retaliate and reveal all that the league has been concealing? What about the remaining players? If they speak up, will they be protected from reprisals? There is no doubt that this story is far from over. We will thus continue to ask the questions they refuse to answer. We would also want to hear from you. Was the prohibition warranted? Is the league acting truthfully? Or is this merely a larger cover-up that has finally come to light? Post your opinions in the comments section. Additionally, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell if you want the truth rather than the PR spin.